Hey everyone, Time Spiral here. We're continuing this Revolution coverage here. I mean, honestly, Saturday mornings, what else am I going to do? So we are seeing silver on a new deck here. They were just wrapping up the run with green-white counters, and now it looks like we're in some Mardu discard value. The one thing I'm going to have to do is, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened here. It was fine a second ago. We are going to... oh, you know what? I know what happened. We were checking the logs last match, but it's okay. We want to give you guys the opportunity to have a nice big card render. So let's see what we got here. A lot of new cards from both players. Keeping 6 from silver and a keep 5. Ooh, that's some rough starts here. All right, let's run it through. Grip Festivarium, land that can level up into a Menace Beater. We've got Olivia Sanguine Reveler here, that vampires, when they attack, they can gorge. We've got Foidrach of Ashmouth as a really nice big 5-drop Crumbling Tower for landfall and damage. Over on Silver's side, funnily enough, we've got Olivia Sanguine Reveler, which doesn't surprise me. This is a Mardu-based sort of like discard deck, so we're running things like Odric, Accursed Slayer, Olivia, Sanguine Reveler, we've got Valiant Firebrands, and then we've got Bloodbank here. And yeah, there's some really interesting stuff in this deck that Silver showed me earlier, so I'm really interested to see if it's going to happen. So, Odric is a 2-2. When he enters or attacks, you get a blood token. And whenever you discard a creature card, if it has flying, Odric gains flying. And then it's the same for a whole bunch of keywords. So, I mean, just by itself, a 2-2 that enters and attacks, creates bloods is fine, right? Crumbling Tower over here, whenever land you control enters, you get to exile the top card of your library. You can play it until your next turn, and then you can sacrifice Crumbling Tower to deal damage equal to the number of cards that were exiled with it. So it's kind of like a, you know, if you can get a lot of cards under it, this thing can take your opponent out in just one hit or so. We're at 3. I'm assuming we're going to see Valiant Firebrand out. It's a 4-3. Creature tokens can't block. Whenever you attack, you can discard a card. If you do, draw a card. And whenever you discard a creature card, you can exile it, and you can play it this turn. So, creating a blood here again with Odric, chipping in for 2. But yeah, starting from next turn, there's a lot of power already on the board. 4 and 2. What's nice about Valiant Firebrand is it doesn't sync really well with a bunch of tokens, because your tokens also can't block. But just by itself, 4-3, that does a lot of value. Yeah, no kidding. What do we draw over here? Looks like another Grip Festivarium. Okay, at least the lands are coming back, which is quite nice. And the fact that Crumbling Tower allows you to play that card until the end of your next turn. So, Tower dead. I don't know why it says dead. Did I miss something? Interesting. Okay. Does it mean dead as in like I'm dead? I don't know. We'll find out together. Anyway, Bleeding Out takes care of the Valiant Firebrand. There's still a second one over here in Silver's hand. Olivia costs 4, Fodrach costs 5, so we're not quite there yet. Odric being legendary means it can't really sequence the other one. Same thing with Olivia. You know, duplicates don't do so well. Odric being a vampire, though, means that Olivia can give it the Gorge ability. But yeah, so here comes Bloodbank. When it enters, you get 2 blood tokens. So just by itself, it puts like 3 pieces on the board. It's kind of nuts. And blood tokens you control have tap, sack this artifact, return a card in your graveyard that you discarded this turn. Well, that's going to happen a lot with this deck. So go to combat. Odric is going to swing for 2, going to create another blood token. I really like these blood tokens. They're in like salt shakers. It's kind of funny in like a grim sort of way. Oh, hey, burn it all down. Nice card, 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Until end of turn, permanents dying don't cause abilities to trigger. Yeah, this hits a lot of stuff in Silver's deck, so it's very interesting to have this right at the beginning. In game 1. I mean, if you're sort of like a bigger going over the top sort of thing, you know, your 4-5 survives to burn it all down, and you run one out and then you run out your big beaters. Totally get it. There's an Olivia, though, off of the Crumbling Tower, which, yeah, that's going to get played. Flying Haste, 3-2. When it attacks, you can Gorge. Are we going to swing in, put in a little bit of damage? And then the question is, what do you gorge? Are you going to pitch the other Olivia? Yeah, I think that's the only real play. You want to keep that Fordrach for next turn, right? Like, it just does so much. Flying Haste 4/5 for 5. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, so it actually can swing for 6. And whenever you attack, it deals X damage, where X is the difference between its power and its base power. So it just does a lot. Really, really good stuff. So it's really funny. So Silver has played Attuned Acolyte, which creates the hard suit in a lot of stuff. It's just really funny that in this situation, it just gives like infinite Exalted because your artifact tokens and enchantment tokens have Exalted. That's really funny. But Silver's going to run out their Olivia here, which is going to give Odric the ability to start, climbing. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Olivia and Odric triggers. You get a blood. You're going to pitch 2 cards. Yep. I mean, you do it 1 and then 1, actually. That's true. So there's the Gorge on Olivia. Discard, then draw. And then, of course, you can crack a blood to get that card back. So now's Odric. I'm going to pitch the Valiant. Drawing a new card again. Let's see what comes in. Did we not draw off the Odric one? Okay, well, I might have missed it. Or did we just cycle the same one twice? Might have been the same one twice. And yeah, both those cards come back. Pretty wild stuff. That's a lot of damage. Oh my gosh. Bloodbang doing a lot of work here. It's really funny because, again, these are all in the same set, right? So it's very much this is the set's mechanic, this is what it's doing. I mean, obviously Attuned is not necessarily part of that, but Valiant Firebrand is from another set, but it just meshes so well. So, okay, well, here's Fjordrach. Or Fjordrach. I'm trying not to pronounce it too weirdly. Anyway, the big important part of this guy is does a lot of damage, and Olivia being at 6 when the base is 3 means that it has 3 damage to throw at something, so that 3 damage can take out either Odric or Olivia Sanguine Reveler with the Ashmouth's ability. And also, of course, swings for 6 in the air. So that's 10 damage total here. Whew. Yeah, this is a really juiced dragon. If you can get a... Yes, Olivia can only have Vampire's Gorge, thankfully. So yeah, 10 damage. Silver goes to 4. Silver has lethal here, though, because if you drop Attuned Acolyte, right, and it gives all your things Exalted, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 extra power. That's 7 on the board. There's the Ha. Is that the Ha of GG? Yep. It's really funny because this is like the card that people most associate with Silver. So it's just really funny that in this situation, there's like so many bloods, and you know what? The bloods just turned into damage, and that was a game 1. Pretty exciting stuff. All right, it's game 2. Only 1 land here over for Silver with plenty of mana here for PTM. Yeah, I would keep this as well. You've got your removal, you've got a sweeper, and then you've got into your 2 biggest creatures, I would imagine. Over on Silver's side, keeping 6, yeah, I'm happy we threw the other hand back. There really wasn't much here. 2 lands, you got a Kitsune Matriarch, you got Blood Bank, you got Exorcist of Errors, and you just drew your 3rd land. That feels really good. Kitsune Matriarch is just one of the formats, like, premium 1-drops, even with the ability triggering only once each turn addition to the card as of this month. The card is still fantastic, especially off of cards like Blood Bank, which are brand new. There's just a lot of ways to grow this. This doesn't say whenever you create 1 or more creature tokens. It says whenever you create 1 or more tokens. So a lot of what you're going to play is going to grow Kitsune Matriarch. So yeah, just an absolutely fantastic card. The question is, you've got a lot of stuff now on the top end. Do you frag it? That's a good question. or do you hold it for something else, like Exorcist of Errors, or your opponents, because they're running cards like Olivia and Odric as well. So Silver seems to be drawing really great here. I like this early Exorcist instead of the Blood Bank. There's going to be plenty of time to run those out later. But maybe being able to take something big from your opponent is nice. I mean, PTM's not at the point where they're casting many of the things in their hand, so interesting. I mean, I think regardless of what pile you take, you have something, yeah. And I would think I would also have taken Frag. Yes, your opponent still has a bunch of creatures in hand, but you still have maybe 1 or 2 turns there. You can probably get there. So PTM reveals 2 cards from their hand. That way, Silver can keep track of what cards they've seen. Which is very nice. This is a really nice. I keep mentioning I love this promo art of Exorcist of Errors. I like the new one that also just got revealed, but this one's really nice. So, Burn It All Down, however, clears out the board, gives Frag back to PTM. For 3 mana, it's going to be a Fabricated Anomaly, that's for sure, with the puzzle box. So this is the pixel art version I was kind of talking about earlier with the alternative art. Funnily enough, this is from Netrunner. Big fan of that card. But yeah, like I said, Fabricated Anomaly just goes in so many things. It's counters, it's draw, it's discard. There's so many things that this card does, and it's still going to be here for quite some time. It's part, I think, of the Errors in the Weft, and it's going to rotate out along with it. But that's still not for a good amount of time. So there's still plenty of time to play with this card, and it's definitely one of the cards that I would say is like a marquee card. It's a reason for playing Rev. Like, I want to play with this card. So if I can find a deck that can run it, chances are I'm going to. It used to be an enchantment too, which was really nuts for a lot of other stuff. So 4 mana, that's Olivia coming out here. Silver's tapped out, so don't have to worry about it. Olivia's going to swing for 3, definitely gorging the other copy. Yeah, I think that's what I was pitching too. You want to get up to your foot. Oh, when you've got the mana next turn for your Ashmouth, that's just going to deal so much damage. Here we go, 4 damage. Silver's down to 14. Kitsune Bloodbank is not a horrible turn. Puzzle Box really allowing you to quickly get things out, which I really like. So what's funny is you can do Puzzle Box, pick. My gosh, I'm really struggling with words. Pitch Kitsune Matriarch here. If you play out Bloodbank, you can get the card back and then cast. There's things to do. So, same as the last time. So we're gonna go. Okay, well, it looks like it's not a Kitsune. It looks like we're cycling. Okay. Maybe digging for removal. Wow, that's an early concession. But, interesting. You knew they had the Fudrak. Fudrak was going to deal big damage, take out your anomaly. Yeah, I guess it's not unreasonable to concede at that point. Yeah, Olivia and Fudrak together is pretty brutal. I do agree. But the good news is that brings us to a Game 3, and as everybody knows, Game 3s are my favorites. When everything's on the line, it's the same for Magic, it's the same for when I'm at my volleyball leagues. It's just, that third set is always the greatest. Keeping 7. I love to see it. Finally seeing some new cards here. Greedy Duelist and Shigane Manor Burns over on PTM side of things. I mean, we didn't see a lot of the decks, so they didn't go quite as deep as the blue-red and Jeskai Control mirror we had last night. So I'm a huge fan of Shigane Manor Burns. That's literally another card that I just want to play. It's Time Loop is a cool mechanic. You get a tap treasure, you get a card, you deal 2 damage, and you just keep doing it again and again. So when the game goes long enough, these are getting so much value. So Greedy Duelist, attack, gorging, and throwing out. Did it have a pay 2 before? Interesting. This thing used to cost you life to use? Wow, okay. I wonder what else changed. I'd have to go check the patch notes. This is a card that just came in with the new sets, so you know, looks like this blood bank is bringing out some different blood. This is really interesting. Where's the salt shaker blood? That's the one we want. That's okay. Yeah, Blood Bank turn 2. It's great. I mean, Blood Bank just works super well with Gorge because now your bloods just become either you can loot or you can get something back. So, fantastic stuff. Over on PTM side, we have Shock, we have Bleeding Out, Shigane Mana Burns, Grip. Yeah. My question is, if we're running Shock, are we running... Did we see Blade Flourish from PTM earlier? I mean, I would assume this is just to get extra copies of 2 damage at instant speed. So here's the attack. I think we're going to see Bleeding Out. Yep, there it is. To deal the 1 point of damage. Is the reason for running out the Bleeding Out because you want to use your mana more efficiently? I would assume that's what it is. Because next turn you're at 3, which means you can do a 2-drop and a 1-drop. Yeah, I mean, what's the 3 toughness thing you have to worry about? There's nothing that comes in at 3 toughness, right? Olivia is a 2 toughness. Odric is a 2 toughness. Oh, Fabricated Anomaly is 3 toughness. I guess that would be the only reason to maybe hold back the Bleeding Out. But doesn't much matter. Drew another copy anyway. So here's Shigane Manor. Gets a tap treasure. There it is. Absolutely gorgeous. The Matriarch here is going to start growing if it survives. The Matriarch does not survive. But there's more where that came from. So looks like we are going to do the discard and then draw. And then if you want to get Kitsune back, you could. I'm not sure you do. I think in this case you're going to rely more on Olivia here to play it out. Shigane is going to exile a card. You get the top 2, and you can play one of them. So Olivia or an Exorcist. Honestly, not bad. Olivia would be my pick. Yeah. I mean, your opponent's got 2 mana. Primal Fissure here is going to get a white source, I'm assuming, for Fateful Ascent. Yeah. Not 2 damage. Destroy target creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. So actually hits quite a lot, and then its controller gets a chart token, which is a sort of like a clue that you can crack to reveal until you hit a land card. So pretty good stuff here. Olivia of their own. Like I said, we're hitting sort of like a little mirror match curse where we're frequently bumping into players that are running similar packages but with slightly different builds, which honestly is really cool because it means that even within the same archetypes, we're seeing a lot of variety, which again is kind of like the perks of having a format like Revolution, where it's not like mathed out and solved. There's a lot of decks I can just see play. Olivia doing a lot here, swinging in for 4, passing over to PTM, 2 damage from Shigane Manor, and then it's going to start looping back again once more, starting from the next turn. You're going to get a tap treasure, then exile, etc., etc. So it's kind of funny that Rev uses the same reminder cards that I designed for MSEM, which is why it's the MSE Mar materials kind of set. So it's kind of funny to see that. I mean, the art's really pretty. I'm a big fan of that. All right, second Shigane Manor Burns. It's really funny when you get 2 of them because then the value just gets really nuts. So treasure here. Good stuff. And now they're slightly unsynced. So it's going to be treasure and exile, exile and damage, damage and treasure, which is totally fine. I got the mana here for Bleeding Out. I got an Olivia in hand. Greedy Duelists from Silver and a Fateful Ascent. Do we have the double black? We do. Yeah, Bleeding Out, taking out Olivia. That wasn't going to get a chance to swing, but that does give Silver the ability to run out both Greedy Duelists and then hold up the mana for Fateful Ascent, and you can run out the Wind-Beaten Stones without having to pay the 2 life, which is always potentially relevant. So we went for the Exile. Did we or did we not discard a card? I think we did not, right? Nope. Just draw, made a token. Sarvan's Execution can destroy creatures or planeswalkers, and you lose 3 life unless you've gained or life lost this turn. Okay, nope. Looks like we're pitching. We found an Olivia Sanguine Reveler again, and an Exorcist of Errors again. I feel like that's what happened last time, which is really, really funny. This time it's Exorcist, going to try and get rid of the last card, but Fateful Ascent is just going to get cast. The question is, do you take out the Exorcist? Yeah, okay. Forces the hand. You can take out a Shigane Manor Burns, but I would also, I think, go after the body. Shame that you had to use it there and you couldn't keep it for Olivia, but otherwise, you just would have lost it to an Exorcist of Errors. Olivia swings for 3, no cards in hand, unfortunately, and don't have the mana to crack a chart to go find a land to use it. So just swinging for 3. Totally respectable. 3 mana, bringing in the Greedy Duelist from the graveyard back to the hand. And that's great because that gives you fuel for these Greedy Duelists. I'm assuming we're going to see both of them gorge here, pitching Greedy Duelist and Sanguine Palace to draw 2 new cards, get those up to 2/2s. But again, you can pitch and then draw and then see what you get. So are we going to throw the Palace to the bin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're at 5. Mana breakpoints are tough because if you're like, well, I'm not going to... Okay. Exorcist is going. Yeah, I mean, if your opponent's top decking and it's not going to hit anything, I get it. I understand that. 2/3 body is still a body kind of thing. I don't know. Shigane Manor Burns here is really funny because we're going to be at 3, we're at 2, and then Shigane, this one's going to be at 1. So great stuff all around. Yeah, once these things are going and you don't have a way of pressuring the opponent and wrapping up the game quickly, the value is going to start getting kind of nuts. Crumbling Tower and a Crucible of the Burning Sun. Cards or tokens when they go to the yard get exiled instead. That's really good against what Silver's doing. There already is stuff in the yard, though. That is something to keep in mind. Crumbling Tower could slowly do value, but I got a feeling it's going to be more of a Crucible than a tower play. Actually, you know what? Looking at it, I'm not sure about... Yeah, there's 2 charts. You actually do have the ability to keep finding lands. You got 2 mana, you got 2 treasures. Never mind. Crumbling Tower is better in this instance. Temple Live. Temple Dead? Oh, I see how it's going. Okay. Moving cards to exile. I now understand the Temple Live, Temple Dead. It's to track which one you can play and which one is just counting for the big burn to the face thing. So, chart gets a land. Play the land, Crumbling Tower. Don't activate the chart yet because you never know what you're going to draw. Draws a land. There we go. And then you could chart later if you really need to. Probably don't want to cash in your treasures if you don't have to. But the fact that this is already dealing 1 damage, then it'll be 2. Can you play it until your next turn? Until the end of your next turn. So we can play this. PTM can play the Sanguine Palace, but okay, moving back to the end step. I figured like there was going to be a cycling here, so. And of course, Greedy Duelist is... Oh, it's instant speed too. I forgot Greedy Duelist was instant speed, but... Yeah, it's the issue with like clicking through things. Sometimes like, and you got no new information was had. It was just, hey, I'd like to do something at end step. Especially in a deck like this that has instant speeds, recursions, and cyclings and whatnot. So, swinging for 4, first Gorge trigger, pitch Greedy Duelist. Drawing land after land after land is not really what you want. You're really trying to find a removal here, get that Olivia off the board. Alrighty. GG. There we go. Hand of Land was coming up next. Frag. Yeah, 10 lands drawn. I know that feeling, Silver. Don't worry about it. Still, really, really fun decks on both sides. I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. Attuned Acolyte win was so cool with Bloodbank. What removal did we see apart from the Fateful Ascents? I don't think we saw anything else, right? But it is a cool deck, and that was a lot of damage out of nowhere. So, but yeah, this one held off. The removal cleared the way. Your beaters were big enough, and then Shigane Manor just kept generating value. So, I do agree. Deck's got spice. A little bit of bad luck flooding happens to everybody. So, don't let it affect. Don't let it affect the your vision of the deck. Hopefully, I can keep getting matches with it in the coming hours and days. So thanks again. We're still churning out a lot of rev today and tomorrow. And like I said, it's going to slow down a little bit into the week when I get back to work. But for now, we are going to keep enjoying all this coverage. Take care, everyone.